I am one of the few people in this room, maybe the only one, and one of the few in the world that has heard Vin Scully's entire career. I grew up in Brooklyn. I lived 10 blocks from Ebbets Field. My father walked me over there when I was about 4 or 5. Fell in love with the Dodgers, fell in love with sports. So I have heard Vinny from the time he started until today. He has been a gigantic influence in my life and career. I wanted to get into broadcasting basically because I could hear Vin Scully's voice as a kid growing up. And when I got my first very big break announcing minor league baseball for the Hawaii Islanders of the Pacific Coast League back in 1968, I was very nervous, and on the plane to Hawaii, all I kept thinking to myself was, just sound like Vin Scully. And that was how I was able to get through the first couple of weeks in Hawaii. One of those games was against the Spokane Indians, managed by Tommy Lasorda, believe it or not. So I grew up wanting to become a broadcaster, loving baseball, building my career around it. And my dream was to someday succeed Vin Scully as the voice of the Dodgers. So here we are in 2014, and I want to know how in hell I am going to retire before Vin Scully. He is a freak of nature. I can only think of like Chick Hearn, who we all knew in this town for many, many years. And when I listen to Vinny, and the voice is the same, the enthusiasm is unbelievable, the preparation, as Brent said, is amazing. And just to hear him say, I mean, how many times do we have to hear it, but it's the same thrill. It's time for Dodger baseball. And that's been Vinny's opening line for so many years. And you just love it. And, you know, God forbid the day ever comes when we don't hear it. And he's been such an influence that the only hot dogs I will ever eat are Farmer John, all beef wieners, because they're easternmost in quality and westernmost in flavor. How many wieners do you think Vin Scully has sold in his life? You know, I'm driving around just a couple of weeks ago, and I'm listening to Vinny, and it's like, this is a time warp. I mean, where am I? Am I in Brooklyn? Am I 10? What's going on here? This can't be. It's like you can't even believe this is still going on. But there he is, and the greatest thing about it is not only is he describing the game for you and telling you exactly what's happening, but I'm learning something. I've seen baseball for a million years, and Vinny keeps saying things I hadn't thought about or knew about. How is that possible? And that is why there's no question in my mind the greatest baseball broadcaster of all time.